Hello and good morning. My name is Phani Eggone. Phani Eggone. Funny name, right? I know most of you are thinking of the pun already. Don't worry, I'm not offended. Phani is a very common Telugu name and Telugus understand it very well. What they don't understand is my family name, Eggone. They think it sounds very foreign and hence very modern. My non-Telugu friends, though, are very perplexed by the entire name itself. Okay, they think some of them think it sounds Italian, and some of them think it's very funky. Okay, and it's just a coincidence that Telugu is also known as Italian of the East. I was born in a town, Anantapuram, a town in Andhra Pradesh. Now, the British version of this town is, okay, so guys from this town who want to sound cool call it Anantapur, Anantapur, okay. I call it Anantapur, playing it safe, okay. And I grew up in Bangalore, which used to be called Bendakaluru, and it's now called Bengaluru, right? We were the perfect Hamdo Hamare Do family, modest and middle class. We wore clothes like everyone else, took buses, ran our own errands, ate together, wrote letters, and put coins in kiddie banks. Okay, we were the perfect middle class family, and during those times, my father used to work in the DRDO in Bangalore, and my mother was a homemaker. And I was apparently a very hyperactive child, and I was to be found on the streets all the time playing games like Goli, Lagori, Kabaddi, and eventually cricket. I could not be held down in one place, apparently. But there were only two things which would make me sit in one place. The first thing was Chandamama, the monthly magazine Chandamama. Okay. I used to be, my parents taught me to read Telugu before I went to school. So I would be sitting with these magazines and going through the stories over and over and over again, totally entranced. Okay. This image is the first memory I have of a book. Okay. The second thing that used to make me sit in one place were movies. My father was a movie buff, and he used to take me to movies quite frequently. And apparently, after we got back home, me and my sister would reenact all the scenes that we really loved. Okay. And I'm just going to play you one clip from this movie. This is Ghatotkacha having laddus. This is how he eats laddus. Okay? He's too lazy to pick up laddus, and he just opens his mouth and inhales, and all the laddus fly into his mouth magically. I saw this and totally freaked out. But unfortunately, when I got back home, I could not reenact this scene, however hard I tried. Okay, so that was the magic of movies. Now, when I was 10 years or so, I was suddenly seeing images from the outside world. Okay, my world was very small and perfect, right? But these images from the outside world made me think that the world is a very big and wonderful place. I wanted to go and meet that world. And my mother, who was quite outdoorsy herself, encouraged this idea that the world was something to be explored. In 1984, my sister, she got the state 6th rank in her 10th standard exams. I was in awe of her because she became a celebrity, and I sort of figured out that if you're really good at something, people will pay you attention. In 1985, on television, I saw the Australian broadcast of the World Series Cricket Cup, and it blew my mind away. Okay, I was entranced by this idea that you could cover one event from so many angles. Okay, and those slow-mos, the slow-mos were heavenly, and I wanted to be in those slow-mos. So I made a plan B just in case I didn't top my 10th standard exams. Okay, I would play cricket and get into those slow-mos. But I also knew that playing cricket for India is like really tough. So I made a plan C, which is I would become a cricket cameraman and make those slow-mos and travel the world. I didn't top my 10th standard exams like my sister. Okay? I didn't even top my pre-university exams like my sister again did. Okay? I didn't even get into my college cricket team. And I didn't know how anybody became a cricket cameraman. So I pinned all my hopes on going out and seeing the world. Okay? So when it was time for my engineering, I chose to go to Regional Institute of Technology, Jamshedpur. Now the main attraction was that Jamshedpur was not in Bangalore, and it was very far away from it. But to impress my father, I told him, this is a center of excellence, and I need to be there. Okay? He agreed, but not because of my persuasive powers, but a cousin of mine, Ranga, who was an IITian, no less, used to live in Jamshedpur. So he said, okay, go to Jamshedpur. I was so excited. I imagined that when I go to RIT, I will become a great engineer like Ranga and do something that would have the same impact as the Australian broadcast of cricket. Okay? But it didn't turn out that way. RIT was not what I had imagined. The first thing that hit me when I went to RIT was that everyone was concerned about where everyone else was from. Okay? These RECs had this fixed quota of students from every state, so it was a mini India out there. Okay? So everyone was concerned about where everyone else was from. And within a few hours, I was made acutely aware of the fact that I was a Telugu from Bangalore. My regional identity came to the foreground. Okay? And being a South Indian in a North Indian REC wasn't so cool. Okay? We spoke these inscrutable and complicated languages that sounded like marbles in a tin box, right? So the precondition for acceptance was Hindi. So we learnt it hastily and very shoddily. And RIT was an ultra-violent campus. We were ultra-violent, okay? Don't like the food? Revolt and thrash the contractor. Mess closes down, go hungry. No bus to go to town, hijack a bus from the highway. Okay, we did that. Hijack bus meets with an accident, set the principal's office on fire. Okay, and shopkeepers in town take you for a ride, start a riot. Underprepared for exams, boycott them. Okay, don't agree with the examination system, sit on a hunger strike. I loved it. This was ground zero, man, and it was harsh. Okay? And I saw firsthand what turns the so-called normal people into raging bulls. I saw how incredibly hard the so-called masses, the people on the ground, have to fight just to survive. I understood why the locals were agitating for a separate state, Jharkhand. Okay? The violence was bloody and brutal. The miracle was no student got killed. Okay? RIT was all about local membership. It was about surviving the immediate moment. It was a frightening physical adventure on ground zero. Okay? And towards the end, I sort of realized that I was not cut out for electrical engineering. I had gotten pretty famous for doing posters and publicity for very important events like hunger strikes and boycotts. Okay? So a very close friend of mine, Lavaldeep Singh, he sort of suggested that I should go to NID. I didn't know what NID was and where it was. But the application form was so exciting, so I bunked 2 exams. Mind you, I didn't bunk classes, I bunked exams to take the NID entrance test. I don't know how, but I got through, okay? And I went to NID, National Institute of Design, Ahmedabad. Now, NID was a culture shock. Everybody looked artistic and sophisticated, right? Girls and boys mingled together freely. Everything, including the mess, were well maintained. We were to call our faculty by their first name. There were no formal classes, and there were no exams. Okay? So over the next 3 years, my exposure swung to the other extreme. Okay? Life had become about ideas rather than survival. It was about possibilities, it was about beauty, it was about freedom. Okay? NID was about global citizenry, expanding limitlessly, and it was a frightening mental adventure. Okay? I graduated fairly confident that I will be useful, okay? But it didn't turn out that way. The next 4 or 5 months as a practicing design professional didn't turn out that way. What happened was there was no mental adventure, and I had no connection to ground zero. Okay, so I was sort of feeling that all that I had gone through as a student, both at NID and RIT, was futile. I was searching for a connection between conceptual spaces and ground zero. There had to be a connection, something had to be there. So I quit my job in 2000, and after a bunch of disastrous experiments, in 2002, I got together with 2 fellow NIDians, Nagesh and Sanat, and started Firefly. At Firefly, we do visual effects for Telugu and Tamil movies. And I want to share with you what it is like to do VFX for Telugu and Tamil movies. Now, on ground zero, in Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, movies are for entertainment. Probably you are aware that both these states are really movie crazy. Together they produce about 300 films a year. They have about 2,000 movie halls each. Okay? And the estimate is that at any given point of time, 1 million people are watching a Telugu film in a day in theaters. Okay? And the same goes for Tamil Nadu as well. Okay? On the ground, movies are for entertainment. Fine, there are other potentialities of movies like intellectual stimulation and education and propaganda, but they are for other media. Popular movies are for entertainment. They are for emotional catharsis and existential detox. They are not for anything else. Okay? So the other thing about these 2 states is that the people, they love magic in their movies. They are very clear that movies themselves are an illusion, okay? And they like to see the limits of this illusion stretched. They love magic in their movies. They say, entertain me with new possibilities or new impossibilities, okay? So, but it doesn't mean that you can dump anything and everything on their head in the name of entertainment. They don't take it. They're very smart. There's one thing they don't compromise on, which is the local idiom. Okay? They call it nativity. Okay? They say, fine, you bring on all the wizardry you will, but give me a true blue Telugu Tamil film. Okay? And the producers know this. So, what the producers say is, fine, your idea may be worthy of cans, but will Telugu and Tamil people love it? Okay? This is magic at the service of nativity. Okay? And I want to show you what this magic at the service of nativity looks like. Okay? So that's what visual effects in Tamil and Telugu films look like. Now the nice thing is that the filmmakers, they're not using this magic for the sake of magic. They use it to elevate the nativity, okay? They use it at the service of nativity and to connect to a larger context, to induce pride in it, okay? And to make sure that the nativity survives. That is magic at the service of nativity. Take the example of Magadhira, a recent blockbuster Telugu film. Now in Magadhira, the hero single-handedly fights a huge army of invaders to protect the heroine. Okay? Very impressed by him, the general of the invaders offers to make peace. The hero accepts. Okay? But there is a rogue element amongst the invaders and he goes for the heroine. And because of this, the heroine, the hero, and the rogue element, they die. Now, all these characters are reborn in the present times. And the hero eventually kills the rogue element and gets the heroine. Happy ending, right? But look at the subtext. The subtext is, Telugus are facing an onslaught, but they're not xenophobic. They like to make peace and they like to make friends. But this is being mistaken for timidity. So, tragic results, everyone loses. Now, Telugus have to go through a renaissance, to go through a rebirth of sorts, to reclaim their identity. And they will. That's what the subtext is. And these movies are staged at a massive scale so that, to show the odds that Telugus face and to signal modernity. Okay, that's what magic at the service of nativity is. And to me, this is amazing because it's nothing but conceptual spaces entertaining ground zero. This is about mental adventurers entertaining physical adventurers and modernity entertaining masses. This is what it's all about. And it's my life playing out in reverse. Okay? I'm doing stuff that I loved as a kid. Right? And hopefully someday I will go back to square one. That's what this is about. Thank you.